Hi everyone, this is Dr. Katherine.Kelly, and I am just bringing you some words for Soul Wisdom Wednesday about whether or not we can evolve if the people or the world around us is not evolving. I seem to be hearing this a lot from people. It's like, geez, how are we ever going to move forward if we keep moving backwards with everything that's happening in the news? And boy, there is a lot happening in the news that makes us look like we are moving backwards or that we are staying the same and nothing's really changing. And there's a ton of frustration out there. There's been a lot of frustration actually ever since this past election because it does feel at face value like nothing's changing, like nothing's evolving, and that we are not moving forward. But we have to think about the fact that, number one, things have to get worse before they get better. Now, what I mean by that is the current administration is all about basically what we've been trying to outgrow forever and ever and ever. And it has to kind of be in our face in order for us to get really tired enough of the situation so we move beyond it. So we have to get to that point where enough of us are like, enough, we don't want this anymore. So there's one piece of this, is that things are evolving regardless of whether or not we think they are. At face value, absolutely. The news presents a lot to us that makes us think that we're not moving forward and that we're stuck in some strange world from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. But when people ask me, how am I supposed to evolve if those around me aren't evolving? I have several answers to that question. And the first one is, it is not only our right to evolve regardless, it's almost our duty to evolve regardless. What I mean by that is, our souls, our humans and our souls are here to evolve. We are here to evolve beyond what used to be. And so regardless of whether those around us can evolve with us, we have to keep moving forward. And so we have to think about, are we allowing the world around us? Are we allowing the people around us? Are we allowing the old beliefs, the old systems, the old routines, the old dogma, the old whatever? Are we allowing that to keep us mired in the old? Because really, we have that right and duty to move forward and evolve regardless. Now, answer number two to that question is, sometimes our evolution is what catalyzes other people's evolution. So look at what's happening in the news. Even though at face value it looks like there's not a lot of change going on, there are more and more people who are no longer tolerating the old crap, the old stuff. And so I am the eternal Pollyanna, but I look at what's happening, and there are fewer and fewer people that are willing to tolerate and willing to not speak up and willing to kind of hold the old, because we are having so much movement. And yes, it's not pretty and it's ugly and it's messy and it's not pleasant, but there is movement. And so when one person evolves, it catalyzes and gives other people the opportunity to evolve as well. So even though you might feel like the black sheep in the family, or you might feel like the person who's kind of the red herring, the one that's way out there and not really feeling like you're fitting in, it usually takes those kinds of individuals for the world to start changing. So it takes the different thought, it takes the stretching of the edges, it takes that pushing of belief, new belief, in order for others to go, that kind of makes some sense. So we have to think about, maybe you are going to be the catalyst to others moving forward. Will that make you feel like you're accepted and welcomed all the time? No. But you might be the catalyst of change. Part three of this is, part of your own evolution might mean letting go of those who aren't evolving. So that one's kind of a tough one to swallow, because we have this built-in loyalty. We have this tribe mentality, which is a wonderful mentality, except when we outgrow the tribe, with the old tribe, the old beliefs, the old systems, the old routines, the old dogma, all of that. If we are trying to stay in that old way, even though we're not, meaning that we deep down, we are not believing those old ways, we become misaligned. We become disconnected from our souls. We've become very disconnected from our own truth, which means that's when anxiety and depression and alcoholism and other things set in, is when we are so disconnected from our truth that we aren't allowing ourselves to align and move forward. So lots and lots of ways why, even if those around us are not evolving, that we are supposed to evolve regardless. And it is a tough one, like I said, to swallow, when we have to let go of loved ones or friends or family or workplaces or coworkers or whomever it is who aren't evolving. And I'm hearing this a lot in my practice, is that people are having to redefine their relationships given where their own evolution is going. And it's painful, it's uncomfortable, and yet it feels right to them because, again, when we shed a skin, when we are evolving, we can't slow that down. And if we do, we become even more mired and misaligned and suppressed. My newsletter article that's coming out this next few days is about, is it really depression or is it suppression of the soul? And again, that whole idea of being suppressed is when we are trying to keep ourselves from evolving, keep ourselves in place, when in fact we really can't slow that momentum down. We are supposed to be here to evolve, but we can suppress ourselves if we don't allow ourselves to go through that natural process of expanding and stretching our edges. So, it's that whole idea of what do we do when those around us are not evolving? Well, we keep evolving regardless. And like I said, in some cases it may be that we are supposed to evolve beyond the people that are not evolving. And that, goes against our family ideas and our familial, generational, I should say, ideas. And societal ideas, but sometimes we have to evolve beyond the old in order to step into the new. So this is often our part of our evolution, is to grow beyond the situations and the people that kind of are slowing us down. And again, we can look like we are self-righteous. We can look like we are, self-centered. We can look like, we're going off into some strange world by expanding. But we have to stay in our truth. And so I have lots of clients and lots of kind of friends who are going through this whole, what do I do with the fact that I am no longer fitting into the old of who I was, and that I am moving into this new dimension. I'm moving into this new awareness. I'm moving into this new way of being and way of living, and which is where we're supposed to go. So I just wanted to throw those words out there for today, is that what do I do as far as my own evolution if those around us are not evolving? Well, we keep doing it anyway, and we figure out, is this part of my evolution to evolve beyond the old ways and the old situations and the old ideas of the people that I'm hanging out with or had been hanging out with. It's a tough one, but there's so many different layers to this evolution thing that if we don't keep moving forward, we will all stay stuck in the old. So whether you're a catalyst, whether you are kind of moving into your own awareness to help other people move into their awareness, whether you are just basically, that's part of your own evolution, in terms of staying in your truth, which I think is everybody's mission on this planet, is to find their truth and keep it, which is the hardest thing on the planet probably to do, given all of the events and situations of the human condition. But whether you are the catalyst or whether you are that person that is moving forward regardless, you have to move forward regardless. So what is it that you need to do today? What is it that you need to do on a regular basis to make sure that you are stretching your edges and continuing to move forward? Because oftentimes, even though there is a discomfort of letting go of the past, it feels more right to move forward than it does to stay where you are or move backwards. So that evolution, that inertia, let me say this, the word inertia, people get confused by the word inertia because people think inertia means staying stuck. That's actually not the case. If you look up the physics definition of inertia, it is to move forward until something stops you. And so inertia is that forward moving motion until something gets in your way to block you, and our evolution is infinite. But if we allow others to block our evolution by staying the same, staying with the old ideas, then we're really not doing our job. We're not doing our job as souls or humans. So anyway, what is it that you are doing? What are you dealing with as far as moving forward? What ideas are you expanding? What ideas are you letting go of? I would love to hear from you. So feel free to leave your comments. I would love to hear them and love to interact with you. And if you're interested in getting my article for about depression or suppression of the soul, that'll be coming out in just a few days, go to my website at www.Dr.KatherineT.Kelly.com, sign up for my newsletter, and you'll get that article coming soon. So hope you have a wonderful day and happy evolution. Take care. Bye-bye.